The laughter of Sanford and Son was louder than most shows of its time, but hidden inside that laughter were truths most fans never knew. Behind Fred's chest-clutching fake heart attacks, Lamont's frustration, Aunt Esther's fiery sermons, and Grady's slow, confused replies were real stories that could change the way you see the show forever. Viewers thought they knew this junkyard world, but what if the funniest moments came from real pain? What if the actors you loved were hiding secrets they carried for years? This is the untold story of Sanford and Son, the show that made America laugh while the cast was fighting battles of their own. Long before the world knew him as Fred Sanford, Red Foxx was already a legend in comedy circles. His real name was John Elroy Sanford, and he had worked for decades before Sanford and Son made him a star. In the 1940s, he was singing and miming in Harlem Club. He became an MC in Baltimore, slowly building his act. By 1947, teaming up with another comedian, Slappy White, he was already making good money. His comedy was bold, raw, and very blue, filled with dirty jokes that no family network would allow. But it made him famous in nightclubs. He made appearances on big talk shows like The Tonight Show, The Mike Douglas Show, and others. By the time he performed in Las Vegas, he was making $40 a week, a huge amount then. When Sanford and Son began in 1972, it was adapted from a British show called Steptoe and Son. But the American version became something special, showing black family life in Watts, Los Angeles, in a way TV had rarely seen. The show became an instant hit, ranking in the top 10 shows for most of its run. Red Fox's salary was around $35 per episode, but Foxx wanted more. He wanted to be paid more than Carol O'Connor, the star of All in the Family. He asked for $25 more each week and even demanded $1 extra just to prove he made more. The network didn't like that. In 1974, Foxx walked off the set, saying it was because of health issues, but in truth, it was over money and power. For 9 episodes across 2 seasons, Fred Sanford was missing, and the writers had to explain his absence. The studio even sued him for $10 million, but Foxx was too important. Without him, the show could not survive. Finally, a new deal was reached. He got the money he wanted, and even 25% of the show's profits. But Red Fox's personal life was full of troubles. He lived fast, loved fancy cars, and bought too many houses. By the early 1980s, the money ran out. In 1983, he filed for bankruptcy. By 1989, the IRS seized nearly everything he owned, saying he owed $2.5 million in taxes. His expensive taste and poor financial planning left him broke more than once, showing that even fame does not guarantee security. His final years brought both triumph and tragedy. In 1991, Foxx was working on a new show called The Royal Family, produced by Eddie Murphy. During rehearsal, he suddenly clutched his chest and fell. Everyone laughed, thinking it was his famous heart attack gag, but it was real. Red Foxx died that day from a massive heart attack. The cruel irony was that the joke that made him so famous became the way he truly left the world. Demond Wilson, who played Lamont Sanford, also had a surprising life story. Before acting, he served in the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War, from 1966 to 1968, and was even wounded in battle. But he also had roots in performing. At just 4 years old, he appeared on Broadway. At 12, he danced at the Apollo Theater. His balance of discipline and talent made him perfect for Lamont, the long-suffering son who always wanted to escape the junkyard. Wilson was deeply affected when Red Foxx walked off the show in 1977. He wasn't told directly. Instead, he found out from a news report at NBC. That betrayal hurt him, though he later said he forgave Foxx. After Sanford and Son, Wilson had chances at new shows, but his path changed. In 1984, he became a Pentecostal minister. In 1994, he founded Restoration House, helping former prisoners rebuild their lives with training and faith. He also wrote books, including his memoir, Second Banana, the bittersweet memoirs of the Sanford and Son years. In it, Wilson revealed that both he and Foxx carried guns on set, saying, "I never did an episode when I wasn't strapped." It showed how unsafe Hollywood could be then and how these two stars lived with constant caution even while making people laugh. LaWanda Page, the actress behind Aunt Esther, also lived a life very different from her character. Before TV, she was a daring fire eater, known as the Bronze Goddess of Fire. Her act involved swallowing flames, lighting cigarettes with her fingertips, and even setting parts of her body on fire. She admitted she often burned herself, but kept performing to make a living. Later, she turned to comedy, doing blue routines full of adult humor. One of her comedy albums, Watch It Sucker, sold well, borrowing Aunt Esther's famous catchphrase. Her friendship with Red Foxx went back to their childhood in St. Louis. When producers of Sanford and Son thought she wasn't ready for television and wanted to fire her, Foxx stepped in. He threatened to leave the show unless she stayed. Thanks to him, Aunt Esther became one of the most iconic characters on TV. Sadly, LaWanda Page passed away in 2002 at the age of 81 from complications related to diabetes. Whitman Mayo played Grady, Fred's slow and lovable friend. What most fans didn't know was that Mayo was only in his early 40s, much younger than the old man he played. He based Grady on his grandfather. Before acting, Mayo had lived many lives, serving in the U.S. Army, working as a counselor for troubled boys, picking grapes, working at a dairy, and even playing volleyball professionally in Mexico. After Sanford and Son, Mayo starred in his own short-lived spin-off, Grady. He later taught acting at Clark Atlanta University and even ran a travel agency. He died in 2001, but fans still remember Grady's warm, confused smile. Don Bexley, who played Bubba, was also more than what fans saw. He was already a veteran performer when he joined the show, working as a singer, dancer, comedian, and even orchestra director. He was the first black stand-up comic to perform in the famous Borscht Belt Hotel circuit. Foxx personally asked him to join Sanford and Son, making it his first TV role at age 62. Their friendship was so deep that Bexley served as a pallbearer at Foxx's funeral. He passed away in 1997 at age 87, but Bubba remains one of the most beloved side characters. Nathaniel Taylor played Rolo, Lamont's smooth-talking friend. Off-screen, his life was harder. In 1986, Taylor and his brother were arrested on burglary charges involving stolen electronics worth around $200,000. But he later turned his life around by opening a performing arts studio, helping guide young actors toward better futures. Taylor died in 2019 at the age of 80. Lynn Hamilton played Donna Harris, Fred's kind and patient girlfriend. Her role began when she appeared as a landlady in one episode, impressing everyone so much that producers cast her as Donna. Foxx praised her for bringing dignity to the show. Beyond Sanford and Son, Hamilton had a long career in TV and theater, appearing in The Waltons, Roots, The Next Generations, Good Times, and many other shows. She was married to poet and playwright Frank Jenkins for 5 decades. She passed away in June 2025 at the age of 95, leaving behind a lasting legacy of grace and strength. Behind the cameras, Sanford and Son also fought battles. Many writers were white, trying to write dialogue for black characters in Watts. Red Foxx and the cast often pushed back, saying, "Black people don't talk like that." The arguments grew heated, but Foxx insisted the show should feel real. In one courtroom scene, Fred Sanford used a racial slur. NBC executives were worried, but Foxx insisted it had to stay. The live audience cheered. It was a risky move, but one that showed his commitment to truth. The show ended in 1977 when Foxx left for a new deal at ABC. NBC tried to keep the brand alive with the Sanford Arms, but without Foxx or Wilson, it failed quickly. Other attempts to revive the show also struggled. Fans had learned that without Fred and Lamont together, the magic just wasn't the same. Still, the legacy of Sanford and Son is undeniable. Over 135 episodes, it showed black life on TV with humor, honesty, and heart. It gave America unforgettable characters, but it also carried the untold stories of actors who faced war, poverty, betrayal, sickness, fame, and failure. They were more than the laughs they gave us. They were survivors, fighters, dreamers. So, the next time you hear Fred Sanford clutch his chest and yell, "I'm comin' Elizabeth," remember the irony that ended Red Fox's life. Remember DeMond Wilson, the Vietnam veteran who found faith. Remember LaWanda Page, the fire eater turned church lady. Remember Whitman Mayo, Don Bexley, Nathaniel Taylor, and Lynn Hamilton, whose real stories went far beyond the junkyard. Sanford and Son was comedy gold. but the truths behind it are even more powerful. The show's laughter covered pain, sacrifice, and hidden strength. And those untold stories, revealed at last, prove that the cast of Sanford and Son gave us far more than just jokes. They gave us pieces of their lives. Now the question is for you. Which of these hidden truths surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation alive. If you enjoyed uncovering the real stories behind this classic show, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more deep dives into TV history, and ring the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Because the laughter of the past may be gone, but the stories behind it are still waiting to be told.